Something has entered our solar system, something that violates the most basic laws of physics we thought we understood. The interstellar object known as 3I, Atlas, is behaving in a way no natural body ever should. Its tail, instead of streaming away from the sun like every comet in recorded history, is pointing toward it. An anti-tail, a physical contradiction. A cosmic impossibility drifting straight through our celestial neighborhood. And for the first time ever, NASA has activated planetary defense protocols for an interstellar visitor. Not because it's going to hit Earth, but because no one knows what it's capable of. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb is no longer speaking in hypotheticals. He's saying it plainly, directly. This could be alien technology. And as this object races toward its moment of closest approach to the sun, scientists around the world are scrambling behind the scenes, gathering data, analyzing every anomaly, and maintaining an almost uncomfortable silence. No public statements, no detailed explanations, just quiet monitoring of something none of them seem able to explain. Why the silence? Why the sudden activation of emergency protocols? And why is an interstellar object behaving like a machine with a mind of its own? The mystery begins here. To understand why scientists are so disturbed, we need to revisit the basic physics of a comet, physics so simple it's been unchanged for centuries. When a comet approaches the sun, heat vaporizes its icy nucleus. That material forms a glowing tail, which the solar wind pushes away from the sunday. It's predictable. It's consistent. It's the kind of behavior that makes sense. But 3I, Atlas, refused to follow the rules. Its tail wasn't pushed outward. It leaned inward directly toward the solar center. A comet behaving as if the solar wind were reversing itself. Imagine watching a car accelerate forward while the exhaust smoke pours out from the front bumper. That's the level of contradiction astronomers were facing. Avi Loeb attempted to decode this anomaly in 2 scientific papers, but even he admitted the explanations were unsatisfactory. We don't know the dust content, we don't know the structure, we don't know what's interacting with sunlight. It's a puzzle with missing pieces and a picture that refuses to reveal itself. And then, something even stranger happened. In early September, the tail suddenly reversed direction. No gradual transition. No physical buildup. Just a sharp, abrupt flip, as if someone had switched the object from mode A to mode B. Images from the Nordic Optical Telescope captured this transformation in real time. An anti-tail in July. Still there in August, then a normal comet tail by September. Nature does not behave like this. Machines do. Something had changed. Something had activated. If the strange behavior of 3I, Atlas raised eyebrows. Its physical properties ignited full-blown alarm. Because when Avi Loeb ran the numbers grounded in observational data, not speculation, the results were nothing short of terrifying. He found that 3I, Atlas, is at least 1,000 times more massive than any interstellar object ever detected. Maybe even 1,000,000 times. To put that into perspective, Oumuamua measured roughly 100 meters in length. Interstellar object Borisov was larger, but still within the comet range. But 3I, Atlas? This thing spans kilometers. That isn't a step up. That's a cosmic jump. The difference between an ant and an elephant. Astronomers weren't just shocked, they were unsettled. Objects this large simply don't drift casually into our solar system out of nowhere. Statistically, it should be virtually impossible. And yet here it is, carrying a mass so enormous, it challenges every probability model we have. But the horror doesn't end with size. When the James Webb Space Telescope examined its chemical composition, the findings defied everything known about natural comets. 87% carbon dioxide, 9% carbon monoxide, only 4% water. Normal comets are mostly water ice mixed with dust, dirty snowballs, as textbooks say. They contain a chemical signature familiar to us, consistent with millions of years of solar system evolution. But 3I, Atlas? Its composition looks less like a snowball and more like a fuel mixture. CO2 and CO, in these proportions, resemble the residues of a chemical propulsion system. Something engineered, something meant to burn or expel material purposefully. Is it a coincidence? A fluke of nature? Or does this pattern point to deliberate design? Because if an object this massive is carrying a composition more compatible with controlled propulsion than natural formation, then the implications go far beyond astronomy. It suggests intent. It suggests functionality. It suggests technology. And if that's true, then 3I Atlas isn't just a visitor from another star. It may be the first engineered interstellar machine humanity has ever encountered. If the size and chemistry of 3I Atlas were unsettling, what came next pushed the mystery into a realm no one was prepared for. Avi Loeb identified a very specific moment, one that could expose the true nature of this object. October 29th, perihelion, the point where 3I Atlas makes its closest approach to the Sunday. Why is this moment so crucial? Because any spacecraft, natural or artificial, can use a star's gravity to perform maneuvers, accelerating, decelerating, executing slingshot trajectories, even releasing probes. And Loeb said it directly: perihelion is the ideal moment to perform such an operation. But here's the part that chills every scientist following this case. At the exact moment 3I Atlas reaches perihelion, it disappears behind the sun from Earth's perspective. A perfect blind spot. We cannot see it. We cannot track it visually. We cannot monitor real-time changes in its motion. If an intelligent civilization wanted to conceal a maneuver from a technologically primitive species, this is exactly how they would do it: use the host star as a shield. But the trajectory of 3I Atlas deepens the suspicion. This object isn't plunging randomly through the solar system. It is following the ecliptic plane, the thin, disk-like region where all major planets orbit the Sunday. According to Loeb, the probability of an interstellar object naturally aligning with this plane is 1 in 500, but it doesn't stop there. 3I Atlas is passing close to 3 major targets: Mars, home to human rovers and orbiters; Venus, Earth's closest planetary neighbor; Jupiter, the gravitational titan of our system, housing spacecraft like Juno. 1 planet could be coincidence. 2 might still be chance. 3 aligned perfectly along the plane of our solar system begins to resemble a planned route. If you were conducting a reconnaissance mission of another civilization's system, this is precisely the sequence you would choose. Survey the inhabited planet's neighbor, fly by the planet with human hardware, and approach the gas giant controlling the outer regions. This is no longer just a trajectory. It's a pattern, a path, a purpose. And perihelion may be the moment that purpose finally reveals itself. If 3I Atlas were just another strange rock from deep space, the scientific community would be shouting from the rooftops, publishing papers, releasing images, updating the public as new data arrived. But that is not what's happening. Instead, we are witnessing the opposite. Avi Loeb revealed that he and his team have been blocked from accessing critical high-resolution data from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter. This isn't trivial information, it's the sharpest camera ever pointed at an interstellar object, capable of capturing detail 3 times finer than Hubble. And yet, because of a government shutdown, NASA has not released a single new image. Think about that. The most important interstellar object ever discovered, and the world's premier space agency, suddenly can't provide data. Scientific observations do not stop for politics, not unless the data is considered too sensitive to share. And it doesn't end there. For the first time in history, NASA activated planetary defense protocols for an object that poses no threat of impact. The agency only uses these measures when something might harm Earth. But 3I Atlas isn't coming near us. It's leaving the solar system. So, what are they defending against? Apparently, not a collision, but the unknown. Meanwhile, across the solar system, the Juno spacecraft has turned its radio antenna toward 3I Atlas. Loeb personally confirmed this after speaking with Juno's principal investigator, Scott Bolton. Juno is actively listening, searching for technological radio emissions, the unmistakable fingerprints of an intelligent source. If a signal is detected, if even a whisper of structured radio data reaches Juno, it would confirm one thing: this object is not silent, it is transmitting. And if it's transmitting, then it's communicating with someone, somewhere. Add to that the unprecedented activation of the International Asteroid Warning Network, coordinating observatories around the globe like a planetary surveillance grid, and one thing becomes clear: the world's space agencies are not treating 3I Atlas like a comet. They are treating it like an operation, a possible machine, a possible probe. And they're not telling us why. When you map the entire sequence of events, from the impossible antitail to the sudden reversal, from the engineered-looking chemistry to the trajectory that mirrors a reconnaissance path, a pattern emerges. A pattern too precise, too synchronized, too purposeful to ignore. And all of it is converging toward 1 month, December. Avi Loeb pointed to a single date with extraordinary significance, December 19th. The moment 3I, Atlas makes its closest approach to Earth. 1 week before Christmas. By then, the object will have emerged from behind the sun, leaving the blind spot where any maneuver, acceleration, deceleration, a trajectory shift, even the release of smaller probes could have taken place without observation. We won't know what it did in October until December. We won't know whether it changed course, activated a system, or executed a mission until the data finally returns. It's like watching a movie 2 months after it happens, but the movie in question may be the most important in human history. Because if 3I, Atlas, is artificial, December 19th might deliver the clearest image humanity has ever captured of an alien object. It might confirm that we were never alone. It might reveal technology older, smarter, and more advanced than anything we have ever imagined. Or it might show nothing at all. Two possibilities remain. Either this is the most improbable natural phenomenon ever recorded, or it is the first contact humanity didn't initiate. December will decide. And the truth, whatever it is already on its way.